putting my as a member of the church, right? I think there's a perspective of prioritizing the faith in itself, right? Because if you think about it, as a spiritual leader, my perspective is if I can connect you with God, I may not be the forefront leader of the nonprofit that leads in education, but by connecting you with God and connecting you with your full purpose, you now are equipped through that process to then do that for your community. And I think
push back on
no, but I'm not even.
I don't disagree.
I'm not justifying that as the right approach per se, because
that has often been the excuse used for why churches don't play a more direct role in the struggle. So you take me. I'm a certified school psychologist.
Yes.
You're having issues with your son.
Yes.
They want to label him autistic, LD, ADHD, ED, whatever the case may be, right?
Yes.
So I say to you, you say, Doc, can you go with me to the meeting? Mm-hmm. I say, you know what? I can't go with you to the meeting, but I'm going to equip you with everything that you will need in order to be successful in the meeting, which I do that because I can't be everywhere at all times.
All right.
But if you say, hey, we got to protest the government against the way in which Black kids are being over-identified, I'm in the front of that. I'm forefront in that. You understand me?
Yeah.
I cannot lead from the back. I cannot say I'm going to tell y'all everything wrong with the American white power structure and then myself not participate in that actual fight to transform the American white power structure. So when the church says, I'm not going to fight, but I'm going to equip my flock so that they can take up that fight, that's somewhat cowardly. You should be equipping them and preparing them. That's important. But what is your role in that fight? Every religious personality in history, I don't care if we deal with Moses, Jesus, Abraham. I don't care if we deal with Muhammad. I don't care if we come into contemporary times and deal with a Mahatma Gandhi, who was a racist, or Dr. King, a Malcolm X, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Honorable Marcus Garvey. Any leader who professed a faith, if he was sincere in his faith, automatically became politically relevant. Jesus, by virtue of his work, automatically came to the attention of the government. You couldn't keep him out of it. Because if I'm fighting for people, I have to take on the enemies of my people. Dr. King automatically became relevant. Mahatma Gandhi in India automatically became relevant. There's no such thing as I'm a pious man, a pious woman. My life is dedicated to spreading the gospel of Christ and preparing my people for a relationship with the Almighty, but my life doesn't matter in the everyday lives of my own people. Show me where that exists in the Bible. Show me where that exists in the Quran. How can you be so in love with God that you're comfortable with your people living in hell?
And honestly, I hear you, right? Because at the same time, there's a lot more. I agree. Mm-hmm. There's a lot more that we could do. And so if we were to get to the tangible, what I don't want this to be, right, is a conversation where it's we're smiting the church.
We're not smiting the church.
Yes.
I want the church. My issue with the church is not what it does.
Yes.
It's with what it doesn't do. So there's nothing I'm trying to stop.
I love that.
I'm trying to start them, you understand me, down a path towards doing what the community does. So there's nothing I'm trying to stop. I need them to start picking up the baton that Dr. King left. You understand? 55 years. You haven't had a church leader yet step up like Dr. King has done.
Man, and your point
Mind you, we give the Black church more money consecutively and consistently than any other institution in America, including the Korean hair care industry, including Foot Locker and McDonald's. You follow me? Including the liquor store.
Wow.
Even with all the money we give to non-African people, the Black church still gets the bulk of our disposable income. I read somewhere it's about $8 million nationally every Sunday. Donations to the Black church are one of the biggest set-asides for Black America. How can we be investing that type of capital into an institution that doesn't hire nobody? In Philadelphia, we got mega churches all over. Everywhere you go in Black America, you got medium-sized, small, big churches. Almost none of them employ anybody. How are you taking in that type of money? How are you charging your followers to be responsible for paying the mortgage on this multi-million-dollar prayer house, the relevance of which we have to talk about when you ain't got schools and hospitals that you control, but you got a multi-million-dollar prayer house, and the only thing you do inside of it is worship, but you don't employ nobody. You're not training nobody. You're not really saving nobody from their everyday issues. You might be saving their soul, but you're not saving their life on earth. What good is a multi-million-dollar prayer house if nobody's making money off of it except the white bank?
Right.
These are the contradictions that the black church has to address. Listen, I want to join the church because I think it's important that people see that I'm not anti-religion, although I say it all the time. I want to join a masjid. I want to be a member of every black religion we got as long as there's not a white Jesus hanging up. Do you understand?
We'll get to that.
But they got to be socially conscious and politically active. If there was a church in Philly right now that did the work of a Richard Allen on the Absalom Jones, I'll be there now. If there was a masjid that did the work of a Malcolm X, I would be there right now. You understand me?
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with none of the religions.
Yeah.
I have a problem with the contradiction and the hypocrisy. How do you juxtapose all this money and all these followers and so little measurable progress for your race?
Man.